that you're right. It wants to prove you right.
Right.
That's what's so crazy. It wants the world to know that you're standing for it, and it would prove it right.
Right.
Every time in your personal life, you go to the bathroom, you
Mm-hmm.
go to the you even if you pick up you read in the ingredients to something you want to cook,
And
it
it's there.
sends you the message
Yep.
right there in
I
real
see it's
time.
like that. It's like that for me. Even with like that's what I was saying about the numbers and numerology. There's times where I don't know if I see lightning outside, but there's times where there can be the same number on my dash, on my radio, and then the tag in front of me will say the same number and it'll have a message on it.
Yes. That's why you need to find out exactly what do you want in the end of all of this.
So
Put
I just
aside
feel like
all
for
the
me,
pain. Don't tell us.
okay,
That's the thing. Don't tell us. Sit down and think about what you really want the ending result to be, what you're tired of, and that what you really don't want no more, and then reformulate that privately for yourself.
okay,
And then as it attests itself in public for you, because that's what the Bible says. Pray in your closet and your God will reward you openly.
I've been doing
That's
that.
that's
That's
it.
been happening. That has been
Yes.
happening, and I've been
So
having. I
formulate your
had a like.
formula.
I don't know.
Read the books that Hevy is telling you. Formulate your formula in that same space, and open for you. That just revives the power that you made in private. That's how you know for sure if you're on track, if you're on task, and if it's righteous, because it will show up in real time. The things that Hevy would say, we would see it in real time
Mm-hmm.
while he's talking. He mentioned a demon, somebody we know that's demonized pop up right in real
Right.
time, and now he has to cast them out. Things like
Mm.
that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As certain women, you're in certain women's lives, you can tell if they're of the righteous spirit, because everything they say, it's happening to you right there, and you say, "Oh my God!" with the brain blown emoji, right? You actually get to see the living reality of the word come to flesh in real time. This is why we're both imploring you to really ground yourself, because you're going to be very powerful. Once you find out what your value system is, it's going to work for you no matter how the numbers for
Right.
yourself. You
That's a
understand?
fact. We want to shout out. We want to shout out Faise. What's going on, Faise?
Oh, what up, Faise? What?
What's good? Yeah, one second, one second.
Hello.
Oh yeah, for sure. But no, sis, your experiences have touched somebody today, because many of them probably been going through the same thing. But and believe it or not, you're at a higher level than some. You see what I'm saying? Based on your understanding and based on your experiences and how you've even interpreted your
I
experiences.
say.
Like they may not have even interpreted it the way that you did, and realize that, oh my God, this is the same thing that I'm going through. She just described it
Right.
perfectly. You see what I'm saying? So even in your gaining of understanding about your situation, you've also taught others and given them knowledge just by sharing your experience. That's why I couldn't understand why you didn't want to come up at first. Like, I don't want to share. Like,
Yes,
this is
I do.
powerful.
I
This,
do. I used to have these topics a lot. I honestly feel like that is what my purpose is. I'm here to be a voice for other people. It's just like if I could save the world, I would, but I know that I can't. But I could try to help one person at a time by my journey, showing them my journey or going over my experiences. But I'm just, like I say, I'm taking it one day at a time because I don't have all the answers. I don't know everything. So I'm still trying to learn myself. And me learning myself, I love it. I enjoy learning new things about myself because it shows me different aspects, different things, or how I could go about stuff a different way. I don't know. It's very interesting. But it's
and for
it's
and for
crazy.
those, and for those of you who just came in, you're like, what are they talking about? This talk started off with talking about demons. So y'all can go back and watch the live if y'all want once it's over. We talked about demons. We talked about what an actual demon is, how a demon presents itself, ways to fight against demons. And I know people think that they have it figured out, but some of you really don't. Your foundation and your understanding of demons is probably off. You know what I mean? So go back and play the live and watch some of it and really get an understanding and get on the right page, because a lot of you have tricked yourself. I'm just going to be honest. And after watching the live, you'll realize where you tricked yourself at. You know what I'm saying? And how, because demons can be very deceptive. They can even appear as angels of light. You see what I'm saying? And many of you have been deceived. You know what I'm saying? And your own knowledge and the knowledge that you've acquired has deceived you and confused you. You get what I'm saying? With all the knowledge you've gained, you still haven't gained the knowledge of self. You still
That's a
haven't
fact.
got an understanding of yourself or understand your purpose in life or understand any of that. With all the knowledge that you've got, like I said earlier, you're part of the conscious community, but what are you conscious of? What are you conscious of? So it's so funny that everybody's calling themselves conscious, but they don't know what they are conscious of. You understand? So some of you need to really go back and do a self-analysis. You got to go and do a spiritual audit. Really do a spiritual audit of your life. You know what I'm saying? And look at the things that you've acquired in life. What of these things are for eternity? And what things have I amassed up that are very temporal, that won't lead me to bear the right fruit that I need to bear. So some of y'all go and do a spiritual audit of your life and realize that some of the information that you've been given is fugazi. It's fraudulent. It's fraudulent. You've been taught by false teachers. You've been led astray by false prophets, false seers, false shamans. You get what I'm saying? And each book that you read is binding you more. Each little bit of information you get is confusing you more, but you don't understand
That's
why.
a fact.
You understand?
A,
So
a
some of
lot of
y'all need
people
to
need to go
go
back to
go
their
go.
original religion. They need to start back at square one.
I said that earlier too. I said some of y'all need to go back to
You
church,
did.
go back to the mosque, go back to the temple, because you didn't master the lessons, you didn't master the teachings. You just ran out a disgruntled spirit and allowed other spirits to attach themselves to you. Congratulations, you played yourself.
I got offended when
Well
you
done,
said that.
well done. You see what I'm saying? But Faise, what do you say to
Give me 1 second.
what is
Literally,
your
give me
take on?
about 30 seconds, family.
So, how do
Oh yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Like, so I've had a lady to tell me she was a prophet when I was in beauty school. I was on the floor doing hair, and she was sitting in the chair beside me, and she just kept looking at me, and she was like, "I literally just had a vision of you, and I seen you in front of thousands of people with a microphone," and she was like, I'm a prophet." But a couple of months ago, maybe a month or so ago, somebody else came to me and said they seen the same thing. So it's just like, I don't know. I just feel like that's pretty much going to be my calling, to be a motivational speaker. Just because of my stories. I have a lot of stories. I'm not gonna lie. I have a lot of stories.
Well, all of your words that you speak to people are motivational, right? They should all be motivational, because you should always speak wisdom, knowledge, love, peace, affirmations in people's lives. So your words should always be contain the spirit. So it always should be motivational. Now, if you're talking about just the occupation of a motivational speaker, then then you can be that.
Yeah, I
You
don't
can
think
be
it's
that.
just for the occupation though. I feel like it's more so to heal other people, because I feel like
Mm.
speaking on my experiences, like you said, and things that I've done, or somebody else may be going through and they may not know. Because I have people that message me and be like, "Oh, I was going through the same thing, and you really inspire me, men and women." So I just honestly feel like that is my calling, to be a speaker. But I do so much stuff. I feel like I do so much stuff because I supposed to connect with different walks of life or different type of people. I don't know what it is, but I got my hands on a lot of different things. And I get bored easily when it comes to just working on one task. I don't like to box myself in.
Can I say
Mm.
something? I would admire. That's a great idea. First of all, very proud of you. However, I want to admonish you to be sure that you're on top of your pyramid and you have the ability You have the ability to have your foresight, hindsight, and insight, and all of your different methods of fortitude for yourself before you delve into that realm. Because just like in your personal relationships, you found out interfacing and interacting with others can prove to have a result of being somebody that has a lot of other beings in them.
Right. You're right.
So if you don't want to be attacked because they love shiny things
Yeah.
and you're excessively shiny, oh my God, you can't hide under a bushel. You are the salt of the earth. So this is why, I'm sorry, Heavy, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm gonna let you go ahead and land your plane. My fault for interrupting.
No, this is why Jesus was telling us from Matthew chapter 7, read from Matthew chapter 7 to Matthew chapter 10. It was specifically instructing us oracle women that are so shiny that you can literally have a, not a closet, but it even instructs you a couple chapters before that how to actually build that temple.
Okay.
That was the whole purpose of the book to begin with, was to teach you how to actually build this temple where you can spiritually fortify yourself, and that's where you actually go and pray, and the God that you actually pray to will reward you and open. But you feel what I'm saying? So you have to
But would
heal
it like
yourself before you
because
even
for
dive in.
example,
Go ahead.
are you saying like a prayer closet or like a space where I just actually pray at?
It both.
Okay.
It could
Yeah, well
be you in the
when
supermarket.
I was
It
in
could
the
be you in the
church.
supermarket and you feel the spirit about to come upon you type
Mm-hmm.
thing. And you really in your closet, in your brain, in your temple, in your like Holy Spirit, divine wisdom on this day, whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's simple. Nobody even know that's what you're
Oh,
doing. That's the whole
just a
point.
thought in my mind.
That was the analogy. Yes, that was the analogy Christ was trying to tell you of how to be in your temple or in your closet and being rewarded. You're always
Let me
fortified with righteousness. Go ahead, Heavy. Please help me. You see me.
let me know. I want to ask you something. What type of prophet are you?
Who me?
Yeah.
I never said I was a prophet.
Oh,
Yeah,
someone
I
said you were a
was
prophet.
no, the lady came to me telling me that she was a prophet and that she seen a vision of me.
Oh.
Yeah, she came like she just came out of nowhere. I was on another client doing a person's hair, and she was sitting across from us, and she was like, "I don't know you from a can of paint." And she said, "But I just had a vision of you. I seen you in front of thousands of people holding the microphone." She said, "I don't know who you are or what you gonna be, but she said I seen you clear as day standing there with a microphone." She said, "I don't know if you a singer, which I do sing." She said, but you was in front of a bunch of people. And then recently a guy came to me and he told me that he had a dream that he think that a lot of people just kept asking him about me. They just kept coming up to me and it was a bunch of people there that I'm going to be this big person. I don't know. But this is like the second time that I've heard that. But I get people that come to me all the time. You know, just like I said, saying little stuff. Oh, not that I'm like trying to toot my horn or nothing like that, but like even white people that, oh, are you a celebrity? You know, get your autograph. And maybe it's just because of how I carry myself. You know, that could be what it is, but I get it a lot. I get it
Like
a lot.
I said, you're very shiny. That's the only way I can explain
Yeah.
you. And people with your type
Right.
of magic, you're very shiny. And it's one thing I
Yeah.
know,
So.
one thing I realized about demons and leech, parasite, and incubus, succubus energy,
Mm-hmm.
they never leave until nothing is left. And the fact that the more they suck, the more you shine, it's only going to amplify it. This is why Heavy is telling you to remove it, set apart yourself,
Mm-hmm.
literally set apart yourself, be away from everybody till you don't feel no more. Then you come back outside type shit.
That makes
And,
sense.
and
Yeah.
pay
Because.
and pay attention to who starts becoming vexed when you do that. Pay attention to who,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? Pay attention to who demands that you get back in the motion or get back in the noise.
Exactly. That means they're hungry and they want to
Yep.
feed. Facts. Facts, Faise.
Yeah,
Now,
I know a couple of people that do that.
now, for those of you who wonder what makes a prophet, I won't go into a long lecture of that, but there are 7 types of prophets. There are literally 7 types of prophets, and I did a talk on this not too long ago. But I'll give just the types of prophets that exist in the world. Okay, I'll give you 7 of those prophets and what they are. Right. The first prophet is the prophet before, or the before prophet, which is the born prophet. This is a person who was born a prophet. This is where you get someone like Jeremiah. Before I formed you in the womb, you see what I'm saying? Before you were born, I ordained you to be a prophet to the nations. Jeremiah was born a prophet. You have born prophets. I won't go into all the details of it, right? You have others that are called prophets. They're called, right? You can go into the person of a person like Jonah. You see what I'm saying? Who was called. You know what I'm saying? You never hear of any other prophecy that Jonah did other than his prophecy to Nineveh, right?
Right.
He
Samuel
was a
was
called
called
prophet.
to facts.
Right. That's a called prophet, right? That's in Ephesians chapter 4, where God say he called some to be prophets. You see what I'm saying? The next form of prophet that you have is a prophet for a season. You get what I'm saying? A prophet for a season. A prophet that's just called for a particular season to preach a particular message at a particular time. You see what I'm saying? They don't hold the office of a prophet for their life. They just hold it for a particular season. They were given a prophetic message for a season, and their job is to give that message out for that particular season, right? The next type of prophet you have is a hidden prophet, an Eman prophet, right? This type of prophet are the ones that you never see. They're hidden. They're not out in the public. You see what I'm saying? Their way is the way of God, and they stick away from that, and they stay to themselves, and they're shown visions, and they see things. They typically play the role of the watchman. You see what I'm saying? You can go to Mark chapter 9, verses 30, to understand that type of prophet, right? The next type of prophet is a made prophet. That's a made prophet. Elisha was made a prophet. He followed Elijah around everywhere. He said, what you have, I want a double portion of that. I want a double portion of what you have. You see what I'm saying? He was made a prophet. You see what I'm saying? And he walked in the ways of his predecessor. You see what I'm saying? The next type of prophet is the silent prophet. This is the prophet that gets the messages, but never speaks them. You see what I'm saying? You'll never hear them prophesy. The first one of these silent prophets you see is Abraham. Abraham was a silent prophet. Though he never went out and prophesied to the nations, he was yet still a prophet. You see what I'm saying? The next form of a prophet is known as a yarrow prophet, a chosen prophet. You see what I'm saying? Chosen. You see what I'm saying? This was one like Moses. Moses was this form of a prophet. He was chosen to speak to walk with the children of Israel in a particular way. He was chosen from amongst the many to be this way. So these are forms of prophets. You see what I'm saying? Many people don't study prophecy and prophets to that degree to understand the different levels of prophets. You
I think I'm a
understand?
hidden prophet then. I had to write all 7 of them down in my notes.
So if anybody ever tells you they're a prophet, you say, what type of prophet are you?
Got
Ask them what type of prophet they are.
Got it.
If they look at you confused,
They ain't no prophet.
then that,
Yeah, because
they look
even if
at
they didn't
you.
even have the 7 listed, they should have an answer. You should have some type
You
of answer.
understand?
You gotta
You
you
gotta
gotta
know.
be
You
some
gotta
type
know.
of prophet, not to make something up when somebody asks you what type of prophet. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a rapper. What
Yeah,
type of rapper are you? You should be able to answer that. You know what I mean?
yeah. You get
Even if it's not,
that?
even if you're not boxed in, you should still be able to
Right.
answer it one type of way, some type of way or the other.
That's
This way you
a
go
whole
into
fact.
testing every spirit. That's why they saying spirit,
Exactly.
because spirit was meaning prophet in that sense. He tests that because not everybody who's saying they're a prophet of the Most High, a prophet of God, is actually that. And when you're saying God in that, right, you're saying somebody saying they want to bring order. They give you these messages for some type of order to be brought out. It's interesting what Hevy was talking about earlier too, when he was saying niggas be trying to pray their way, you know what I'm saying, into, you know what I mean? I'm not around all adults right now, so I'm gonna keep it kind of, you know what I mean?
Right,
But
but we know
they try
what
to,
you're saying.
you feel me? That's not new. That's been the game since the beginning, you know, and it's still the game because most people are still operating from that primitive nature. Where are they really going in life? If you really realize everybody is doing the same thing, everybody's just trying to survive, right? Then the ultimate work or the grand work can't just be about the self. You're just the ordinary person if you're doing for just the self. It's the one who decides they're going to sacrifice that self for what people are referring to as the greater good. Those are the ones who are really prophets. You know what I'm saying? Because ultimately, a prophet isn't necessarily just speaking about what's going to happen in their lifetime. The prophet has the ability to tell you what's going to happen when they leave. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? What they won't even be able to be around to
To
get the
witness.
glory of telling you about.
Right.
You understand? But prophets want glory in today's day and age. The prophets want glory of being able to say, I told you so. That's why you got all the spiritual conscious community niggas sitting in front of the camera saying, I told y'all something was gonna happen. You know, notice they always say this. They
Oh
always
my
say,
goodness,
I'm a hidden
Faise, you
prophet.
so right,
Feel like I'm a
bro.
hidden prophet because I am that type of person, especially when I have dreams and visions. But I do tell, I let the person know, or I do tell somebody something because I be having all types of dreams. It'd be crazy. And I
It,
don't dream every single day, but when I do dream and I can remember my dream, I make sure I write it down and I research it.
but now remember, a dreamer, a dreamer is different from a prophet, just like a seer is different from a prophet. Though a prophet can dream dreams, though a prophet can have visions, these are part of the tools that prophets may use or
Mm-hmm.
utilize, right? But there are four things, four foundational things that a prophet are given. Four foundational things. Y'all write these four things down that a prophet are given, right? Number one, a prophet is given a mandate. They're given a message. That's number one, right? Number two, a prophet is given resources. God will never give you a message. He'll never give you a mandate and not give you the resources. All right? Number three, a prophet is given a platform. He'll never give you a message. He'll never give you the resources and not give you the platform in order to speak that thing on. Right? And number four,
Ashe.
you're given
Ooh.
grace.
Grace.
You're given you're given grace. You're given grace. Now these are the four foundational things that a prophet is given, right?
you left
Now,
out one, a
what?
hard time.
That's
Yo,
definitely
bro,
me.
say that
Oh,
shit, Faze. Say that shit for the collective,
Hey,
bro.
I gotta
Say
say
that
that.
shit for
I'm
the
gonna put that on
A
my notes.
collective.
prophet is
I'm
given
gonna put
a
that in
hard
my notes.
time.
But
Nah,
that
go ahead.
I
right.
honestly feel like that's me because, like I told you before, I do a lot of things, and I recently started working at the radio station, and I felt like that was my avenue, like for a voice to be able to reach more people, to be able to be in a different light. Now, again, there's good and bad in everything. It's all about the person and how they use it. But
Let me just, I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry
no,
for
you
cutting you
you
off.
can go
That's a
ahead.
bad
You can
habit
go
of
ahead.
mine.
Go ahead. I do
No,
that too.
I was just gonna implore you to understand because to what I wanted to just add some value before it disappeared to what Faze was saying. What I even understand in my actual reality, what the spirits are fortifying me with seeing is that it's not for you. I cannot tell you how many times I'm given the tools, I'm given the platform, and in my divination, in my spirit of activation, I'm doing what the spirits are telling me. And it ain't happening to me, bro. You feel me? It ain't happening to me. It's happening to those that I'm speaking up to in the
Right.
comments or in the panel. It don't happen to me. ain't nothing manifesting for me. They're like, oh my God, I just saw the da 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 da. Oh my God. This is what spirit is always showing me, and it's helping me to take away the spirit of that ego. It's really, 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 really helping to keep my ego in
Right.
check and teaching me that this is has
Nothing
absolutely.
against
First of
you.
all, we ain't chose you because we ain't even see you. We saw the light in you, and that's what we utilize it
Mm-hmm.
for them, not
Right.
for you. Are in you're not that. It's not that you're non-consequential, but in the point of divination, you're non-consequential to everything. It's about the intent of the people that you're
Right.
originally trying to
Right.
gather the attention
Right.
of
Which is why I
or to
said
induce.
that's why I
Right.
said
So
earlier that
understand,
my
magic ain't
purpose,
gonna happen in the radio station.
huh?
It's the person that you're talking to at the rate on the radio that's gonna be telling you, yes, honey. Oh my God, why I just passed and I saw 111. Right.
Right. Well,
Do,
see, not
do
only
you
that.
know what you
I'm
go ahead?
sorry.
No,
Go
well,
ahead.
no, not and I agree with you 100%. But that's why I said earlier, everything that I do is not, it's not for me, it's for the people around me. I've realized that's why I feel like God has given me many talents so that I can connect with different walks of earth. That's why I've experienced a lot of things, like with death or going to jail or having kids at an early age or being in a beauty and film industry. All of these things that I do, I feel like it plays a part in me having that voice and actually being able to connect with other people, because at the end of the day, yes, when people see me, they're going to automatically see my appearance, my outside beauty. But once they get the knowledge and the wisdom that I have, it's a whole different story. It's totally different. So I feel like, I've been given these talents and I've been given these platforms so that I can start, or continue to put myself in different places to be able to give the information that I'm supposed to give, or the knowledge that I'm supposed to
You
give. Because like I
you
say,
know what you know what you have to be before you can even be a prophet.
what is that?
You have to first be a servant. You have to first be a servant of the Most High before you can be a prophet of the Most High.
But aren't we serving every day when we're praying
No,
and we're
no,
fasting and
but
we're doing the good?
everyone doesn't do that.
Okay.
Everyone doesn't serve. Everyone doesn't serve the Most High, but yet many call themselves prophets. You see? But some people don't realize that you have to be a servant before you could be a prophet. Most people don't even know what
But aren't
prophecy is.
you serving
Mostly,
as
if
a
you ask them,
prophet? Because you're doing the work of God.
you, yeah, but before you can serve in the office of a prophet, you must first be a servant. You must first be a servant before you can serve in the office of a prophet.
Okay.
That's
You
a
see?
fact.
Like, so, and a lot of people don't, that's a fact that many don't understand. If I ask someone, well, what is prophecy? Most people will just say, well, telling someone the future. Well, that's one aspect of prophecy. That's called foretelling. But there's another aspect of prophecy known as forthtelling. Forthtelling deals with the now. You see what I'm saying? So a prophet will take information of the past and use that to also tell the future. The prophet has many tools to work with. The prophet has many tools to work with. A prophet can work with visions, right? Internal visions and external visions. A prophet works with. A prophet can work with dreams. A prophet can work with revelation by word of knowledge. There are many tools that the prophet has at his disposal. You see what I'm saying? But you got to understand these are the building blocks of a
Right.
prophet. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of people, like I say, when it comes to prophecy and when it comes to prophets, many people are not educated by the word of knowledge and aren't educated by the true words of power and things to even understand the offices that they are attempting to hijack, because that's what many people are doing. They're trying to hijack the office of prophet.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't
And
want what comes with
this
it.
what exactly. And I said this earlier. One thing that led to immediate death, when it
False
even pertained to
prophet.
demons, was a false prophet, a false prophet,
Right.
and a false teacher. They were they were immediately killed.
That's a
Because
fact.
this is a person that's working under demonic influence so much that it's hard to even shake
Well,
that
I
from
would
them.
never be out telling people I'm a prophet, I'm a prophet, I'm a prophet. For me,
I'm
I
gonna.
just get that whatever I get, whatever I see, I just speak it. But when you say when you're saying being a servant first, is that listening to your intuition, doing the works of God, actually doing, what you're supposed to be doing, helping, giving, like, is that serving?
Well, if it's just about yourself, that means you're serving yourself and you're giving your own
No, not
prophecies,
myself. I'm
right?
saying serving, like, not
Who?
nothing
What?
pertaining to me.
Call it out.
No, I'm not saying
See
serving
here,
pertaining to me. I'm saying the people,
right?
for the people. Nothing to deal with me,
But
just the people in general.
forget the people. A prophet will say, "Thus saith the Lord." You
Right,
see?
right. That part.
See, a prophet gonna say, "Thus saith the Lord." See, they're getting the interpretation and the word of wisdom
From
and the knowledge. They know the source that
exactly, and
it's coming
not
from.
coming
So
from them.
a prophet has to have a source. If the source is just themselves, if they're just prophesying, saying, "Thus saith me," thus this is what I'm saying, and the word came from me, and it's
Oh
all
yeah,
from me,
I
and everything is
get
from
what
me.
you're
Well,
saying.
you understand what I'm saying? So a prophet, once again, a prophet has to be called, but who called him?
That's what I was
A
about
prophet has
to
to be
say.
a
Yes.
prophet has to be
Somebody,
ordained by
yeah.
someone. Who ordained him? A prophet. See, a higher power has to put you in that position. You see, and that's what most people don't get. They want to have the just the knowledge of self and just prophesy from their own accord and their own being and things of that nature. But something had to ordain you. Something had to
So,
put you in that
example.
in that place.
If you can't say you're taken up, if you can't say, and I was taken up, like literally, if you
Yeah.
can, because most
What you mean
a
taking
true
up?
I was
prophet,
actually about to speak on that,
What do you
because
mean
right,
by
there,
taking up?
an actual prophet would tell you something happened. I was taken up. There was nothing I could do, and this information that I'm giving you now was through the refortifying of my spirit with this energy with God. They're gonna say
It's
God
taking up
called
this.
me.
Is it taking
Go
up
ahead.
same thing as what do they call it? It's taking up the same.
No, it's not
No,
possession.
no,
It's the
she's saying
it's not
difference
abduct. No,
between.
she's
not
saying
Okay.
possession.
abduction.
It's
Abduction.
it's not abduction, not abduction. It's taking up the same thing as astral projection.
No.
It could, yeah, it could be,
Okay, let me
it could
tell
be
y'all
themed
something.
as
One
that.
time I put on some meditation music and I was laying in my bed and I was asleep, but then I woke up and I felt myself like I was levitating in the bed and I seen this purple light. And it's just like after that I lay back down and I got up. But
No,
I've
Okay.
also
you had the
I've also
spiritual.
astral projected before where
Mm-hmm.
I see myself outside of my body. My spirit was standing over my body, laying on the sofa asleep. I could hear myself and I could see myself. But once I realized that my spirit was outside of my body, I immediately jumped back in and I got up and I called my grandma. They took me to church. They got me prayer. They gave me a prayer cloth.
It's like they always want to
They
protect
do
us
that every
from
time. They say
from
it's
the
something
gift.
wrong with me.
Yeah,
So I
nothing
don't.
was
Hmm.
wrong. Listen, so
That's
astral
scary.
projection is an out of body experience,
I never did it
but
again.
not every OBE is an astral projection. You know what I mean? The reason why that word projection is very important is because it's like you are sending yourself out of the vessel. You understand? Sometimes you
How
will
did I
just
do that though?
that's what I'm saying. If you didn't consciously do it, that wasn't an astral projection. That was an out of body experience. You understand? So to answer your question, you could have been taken out of your body. I wasn't there to answer it. I don't think anybody else
Well, let me tell you
would
what
be able to.
happened. I watched that movie, and this is why I don't watch no scary shit.
Insidious.
Yes. And as soon as I watched that movie, that same night, that happened
Yeah.
to me. I'm talking about
Okay,
like
so let me explain to you
that.
why. And I can explain that because I literally wrote about this in one of my books. That the reason why I didn't watch Insidious, right? I actually rounded about the corner. This was years ago, and my family was watching it. And they had one scene where there was this white guy. He stood up out of his chair and he turned around and he was still sitting in the chair or something like that. And I wasn't looking at the visuals. I was listening to the tones. I said, yo, I said, they're programming people's astral realm.
That's what
And
I just told them. I said I
go
feel
ahead.
like that movie is causing people to their spirit, because on that movie it said if your spirit wander off too far, your core to get disconnected, and
Yeah,
demons can enter into your body. So when
yeah.
I noticed that after watching that movie, I jumped back in my body so fast, like, oh hell no, they ain't about to
Fear,
get me, and I got up.
fear. So that's why the last one they came out with is called the Red Door, right? They want people to, first of all, the red door is the root door or the root chakra door, right? And when that's out of balance, fear takes over. And when fear takes over, you're not going to be able to ascend anyway. So
Mm,
it's just like the dream world, the lucid dream world, sleep paralysis realm, wherever you're vibrating from, when you step over into those frequencies, that becomes the whole of that particular reality.
mm.
So I don't watch scary movies to this day.
Me either. I don't
Not because I'm
either,
afraid of
because it's
anything, but just
a
because, listen,
portal.
if you would have turned down the volume on a horror movie, right, a lot of what you would be looking at would be laughable. It's less about what you're looking at and more about all of the different tones. Some, they literally call them rises, all right, or sounds of suspense. All of the score, right, which is really the underscore or the
It
soundtrack.
hurts.
That's what's really programming the subconscious or the unconscious.
You know what's so funny, Faise? I find that, first of all, I hate video games. Let me just make that clear. Another thing to add to that, to induce my reason for avoiding those same video games, is even if I do play, I have to mute it. I have to mute the sound. I can't watch something and listen to it at the same. I got to do one or the other. I'm not one of those. I'm very oversensory type. So it's like if I'm watching a movie, I'll mute the movie and watch the movie, or not pay attention to what is playing, what actually shows on the screen, and listen to the sound myself. And I wanted to say, in addition to what you guys are saying, that how you know if it's actually you're chosen and set apart to become a prophet, when you come back from your experience, you come back with instructions. Instructions that did not come from you, that you just know how to formulate it. You pick up a pen, pick up a pencil, and you're drawing art, or you're writing a story, and you're not an author and you're not an artist.
So this is why I wanted to add
Go
on
ahead.
to it though, because people like Isa Al Maryam or Isa, Jesus, the son of Mary, they had authority, right? And a lot of people weren't familiar with that type of authority. When he came and said, y'all don't know what y'all are talking about. I'm from above. You're from beneath. You understand? I'm not from this world. I'm in
Yes,
this world, but I'm not of it. I
yes.
have authority in heaven and earth. Okay. The way that armies are set up, certain systems are set up. You have chiefs with an S. You have generals with an S, right? You have leaders, lieutenants, okay, that whole position of, like you just said, authority. The reason why I'm bringing authority in there is because you said author, all right? The author has authority. Even in authority, you hear author right, okay? The right to be the author, to grab that pen like the one who was called
Authorized.
Tahuti, right? Exactly, authorized. So
Right.
the one who was called Tahuti, right, had a pen and he would write with it. Okay. And those who have the ability to write things is like when you're programming a computer, you have to learn script, is what it's literally called.
Write it
Right.
down, make it
If you don't learn,
plain.
if you don't learn script, like why do you think the biblical scriptures have the word script in it? You can't program a reality, which means you won't be able to code, you won't be able to encode, and you won't be able to decode. And working with coding is what literally allows for these people who take on the position of elites to take control of everything. So what I'm offering is that there may be one or two or a few among you who do have the ability to do that which Jesus did. And you may be higher ranked than he is, right? But you wouldn't know that until you were told or brought to that realization. If Jesus was brought up in the hood and taught to just be a gangster, that's what he would have been. And he would have been the most Jesus-fied gangster we ever knew in history.
Ugh.
But he had to grow up in and
That's
around
it.
the community of other ascended masters, okay, which would have been ancient Kemet. Okay, he had to grow up in those types of communities where they already being introduced to those sciences. My point is this: there are some of you who may, like, he literally cited this in the scripture where he was saying, yo, some of you may do greater works than I'm doing. So I'm doing these works, yeah, but which pastor to date has done greater works than Jesus? Which of these imams have done greater works than him? And then you get into that conversation and say, okay, well then let's get back to that taken up conversation, right? It ties all in. It's not always that you're being taken up. Sometimes you get taken down. And what I found in all of these conversations is people love to glorify all of this light bright when it comes to being a prophet. Again, it's about glory. They want the glory. They want to be seen in this light, right? How many of you have been taken to hell, right? How many of you been taken beneath the earth plane and shown things? Why is always people talking about they went into the stars?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And I'm speaking from experience. I've been taken. I had to shift that up. So a lot of times it isn't necessarily like somebody has a Bluetooth that they're giving you, that they're speaking into your ear, they're telling you this, that. Sometimes where you say,
Right.
wait a minute.
Hey, Faise, wait. Hey, guys, look, the live is going to end in 15 seconds. I'm about to restart it right now, and I want Faise to, because he just hit on a powerful
Yep.
point. Been taken to, yeah, let's come right